Good day everyone. Today, we will tackle object-oriented programming. So let's start. The objectives are to introduce object-oriented programming, compare procedural programming and object-oriented programming, and introduce some basic concepts of OOP. So what is OOP? OOP, or object-oriented programming, is a programming paradigm that organizes software design around objects, which are instances of classes. These objects represent real-world entities and can contain attributes, or the data about the object, and methods, which are the actions the object can perform. So let's have student as a real-world analogy or example. So for attributes usually tells what an object is or has. So a student has a name, age, student ID, and your level. On the other hand, methods usually tells what an object can do. So a student can enroll, can study, can take exam, and can submit assignment. So why is OOP important? First one is for better organization. Code is structured around real-world entities, making it more intuitive. Second is reusability. Classes and methods can be reused across projects through inheritance and modular design. Third one is maintainability. Encapsulation makes it easier to modify code without breaking the whole system. Fourth is scalability. Large and complex systems are easier to manage and extend. Fifth, and the last one, is collaboration friendly. Different developers can work on different objects or classes independently.
Now, let's talk about the difference between object-oriented programming and procedural programming. In object-oriented programming, program is divided into small parts called objects, while in procedural programming, program is divided into small parts called functions. In procedural programming, we focus on functions or methods, and data is kept separate. For example, if we want to store student information, we'll just use variables and write functions to work with them. But in object-oriented programming, or OOP, we focus on objects. An object combines both data and behavior together. So here is an example of procedural programming. Here is we focus on functions or methods, while data is kept separate. For example, let's say we have a student named Jarren with 2 grades. We store his name and grades in variables, and then we write a separate function to calculate his average. In object-oriented programming, on the other hand, or OOP, we combine data and functions into one unit called an object. Instead of just having separate variables, we can make a student class that holds both the grades and the method to calculate the average. Now, as we can see, Jarren becomes an object with both his information and behavior inside the same place. When we run this program, it prints his average grade directly from the object. OOP has several advantages. It makes program more organized because data and actions stay together. It is reusable. You can easily create more students without rewriting code. And it is easier to scale, which is why OOP is often used in bigger systems like a school management system.
Hi everyone! Today I'll be explaining 3 basic concepts of OOP: class, object, encapsulation, and inheritance, using real-life example as a person. Now, let us start with class and object. A class is like a blueprint or a template. So, imagine, nagdodrawing ka ng plano para sa bahay nyo. Now, it shows what exactly the house look like, but it's not the actual house yet. In the same way, a class is a design of something in programming. For example, if we create a class called person, it can have an attributes like name, age, and address, and actions like introduce, which lets a person introduce themselves. Ang person, meron 3 bagay, or meron tayong attributes in common. Meron tayong name, age, at address. And ano ba yung kaya natin gawin? Which is mag-introduce. So, ganun din siya sa ating programming. Now, when we actually create a person, for example, Cristopher, that becomes an object, the object is a real example or an instance of the class. So if the class is the design, the object is the real thing built from that design. Next, we have encapsulation. Encapsulation is all about protecting data inside the class. It means you don't let other parts of the program directly access or change a person's private information like their age or address without permission. Just like in real life, You don't just let anyone see or change your personal detail. You control what people can see or modify. In programming naman, we use a special method called getters and setters to safely access or update information. That's what we call encapsulation, keeping data safe and private. Lastly, let's talk about inheritance. Inheritance means one class can inherit the properties and behaviors of other class. For example, we can create another class called student that inherits from the person class. Because of inheritance, the student class already has everything that person has, like name, age, and the ability to introduce themselves. But we can also add something unique to student, like a school or a method called study. So just like in real life, a student is still a person, but with an additional characteristics. To summarize everything, a class is the blueprint, an object is the actual sample from the created class, encapsulation protects data inside the class, and inheritance allows one class to inherit traits from another. These three OOP concepts makes our programs more organized, secure, and easier to manage, just like how we organize things in real life.